Welcome back to Module 3. I'm happy to see you here today. And today's module is a little bit shorter. We have 3 lessons in this module. It's called Learning the Lingo. And I have to tell you, it's not as sexy, it's not as fancy as some of the other ones, but why do you need to learn the language of probates? Well, that's really simple. It's so that you can show up as the expert. You will outshine your competition every single time if you know how to speak the language of probate. Now, is this a big bunch of legal terms that you need to memorize? No, it's not. But do you need to be familiar with the terminology? And do you need to understand the term? If someone says to you, can you talk to me about guardianship? You need to be able to understand that. Or if they mention the letters, they often call them the letters, then you need to know what that means and how that, where that appears in the probate process. So not to worry about this one, because we're going to go over what I consider the main parts of this, and those are the duties and the roles of the executor and the administrator, and exactly how one gets to be an executor, one gets to be an administrator. So they have the duties and the roles are the same. However, they get there in a much different way. And what does it mean when they're called the personal representative? So we're going to talk about that. And then in the second lesson, I'm going to dive into the rest of the terminology and go through that. But not to worry, because I have a cheat sheet for you that you can refer back to. Like I said, this is not something to be worried about. This is not something that you have to sit down and memorize, but merely hearing these terms, you'll go, oh, I remember that. But you do need it for when the seller asks you a question about a particular thing, you need to show that you are knowledgeable about this. And it will, as I said, make you shine as a probate investing expert. And that's what this is all about. Becoming a probate investing expert and being the person they choose over the next guy, aka your competitor. Now, last but not least, we're going to talk about trust as they pertain to the probate process. You need to understand that if a house is in a trust and that means in most cases it was done for estate planning and it's going to sidestep the probate process. But there's a list that you can purchase that has the trust in it. And these are very valuable leads. These are leads that have, these properties have escaped the probate process. However, they were inherited. So does that mean that the person that inherited the property wants to keep them? Heck no, they are often going to be sold. So you need to understand how trusts work, how they work in the probate process, and why these can be very viable leads and where to find them. So that's about it for Module 3. If you have any questions, be sure to stop by the Facebook group, and I'll see you soon in Module 4.